Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Our guest is Ջանլուկա Մարչանո, a famous Italian conductor and the guest chief conductor of the State Symphony Orchestra of Armenia.
Yes, exactly.
I'm correct. How do you work with different musicians who have their own talents and approaches to music?
This is the main part of our job, conductors, because we travel all around the world and we find different traditions, also different cultures and people that they speak even different language. Usually we are lucky because we have a universal language, which is music, and it's our movement with hands. You know, thanks to our movement, we are understandable from the South America to extreme Asia, you know, till Japan.
What is the opera or symphony you have always wanted to conduct but haven't had the opportunity yet?
Well, it's a Symphonie Fantastique of Berlioz. It's a great work by Berlioz. It's a huge orchestra, huge orchestration, and I find it's very near, even if it's symphonic music, very near the approach of opera, you know. So there is a lot of flexibility in the music line, and it's for a conductor and for an orchestra. It's very demanding.
Do young people today listen to classical music?
Well, I have to say that surprisingly, I find more and more young people coming to classical concerts. Oh. Here in Armenia, especially, it's very nice. I hope to find the same kind of public one day also in Italy, in my country.
In your opinion, what is the importance of classical music nowadays?
It is extremely important. Why? Because music, as I said, it's a universal language, so it's understood by everyone. It is a language that doesn't need translation, that breaks barriers, and especially in this moment in the world, we really need art that breaks barriers, breaks walls, and make people understand each other. Music is a tool that we can use.
How is classical music perceived in Armenia, and what is special, what is different about Armenian audience?
It's special because, you know, here in Yerevan, for instance, the center of the town is the opera house. It's at the Khachaturian Hall, so Philharmonic, opera. Next to it there is the conservatoire, where the people, they study music. And music has a high value for Armenians, because Armenians, they have this in the blood and in their traditions since ancient time. Yesterday I was able to perform two songs by Komitas, and they were very emotional for me. And also, you know, the great Khachaturian, Babajanian, so many great composers. So music is part of the filmography of Armenia, and music is something that brought Armenian all around the world recognizable, even in not classical, like Charles Aznavour, that became a classic anyway. So music, it's something that really it's a fundamental part of this country.
What instrument would you have played if you weren't a conductor?
Well, I played an instrument which was the piano.
Oh.
I was a pianist. I used to be a pianist, and then at one point of my life I decided that I wanted to follow the path of conducting, because the approach is different. It's a more communicative approach. You meet with other people, you have an orchestra in front of you, singers sometimes, chorus, and you need to be not just a musician, but a psychologist, a communicator, a person that put people together under one idea, a leader. So I found it more the path that I wanted to follow.
What is the musical instrument in orchestra with which it is most difficult to work for a conductor?
Every instrument can be most difficult or not difficult. It depends on the approach that we have. And also it depends a lot on the approach, the personal approach that you have with the player himself, because he's an individual. And so every individual has its way of reacting to your input. It can be, sweet, or it can be a bit aggressive. It depends. If I would say what is the most delicate instrument, probably I would say the French horn. French horn, because it's extremely complicated. It's very difficult. It's very easy, actually, to crack a note, for instance, for them. So they need to have your greatest support. So that they can prepare in the best way to produce their sound. It's a very delicate instrument and has many times incredibly open solos that they can make tremble the most brave of the soldiers. Yes.
When you conduct different orchestras in different countries, what inspires you the most?
What inspires me? It depends. Every orchestra, every ensemble adds his own individual sound, individual reactions, individual approach to music, and approach to ourselves. With Italians, it's like that. If you inspire them, and they get inspired, they can give you a lot.
Is it easy to work with Armenian Orchestra?
I would say that it's beautiful, it's interesting. Easy depends what we mean with easy. If you find the common language in music, it becomes easy. I would say that with Armenians, it's like exponentially everything more. Feelings are more, emotions are more, everything is more.
Yeah. Classical music seems complicated to many people. How can it be made more understandable and popular?
I think that one step that we should do ourselves, musicians, it would be, before the concert, to turn to the public and explain a bit of the program. Why we choose that program, who are the composers, some anecdotes, some interesting facts. You attract them with the thing that they understand and they like and they like naturally. Yeah. And then you ask them to make a little effort and you create a process of education. So you educate them to some music that maybe it's a little bit more complicated, and then they start as well to make that music like their music.
What kind of music do you like to listen to in your free time?
I don't have a lot of free time, and but I don't listen only classical music, and actually, because I listen classical music every day for work, my taste is very polyedric. It goes from jazz to the best of rhythm and blues and even pop.
How does the audience energy during a concert affect you?
It's very important. The energy that is coming, it's a mutual relationship. So when I feel energy, I already come full of energy. And I want to give all this energy for my orchestra, the orchestra that is in front of me, and for the audience that is behind me. But of course, if you don't feel back the same energy, you feel less comfortable, no? Less excited. When you feel this energy, when you feel the audience energy, your energy becomes more and more and more.
Aram Khachaturian or Avet Terterian?
Oh, that's difficult. Yeah. That's difficult. But I would still say Aram Khachaturian.
Yeah, why?
I start to love him much more. I knew Armenia, much more. I mean, Khachaturian is a composer that goes beyond any borders. you know, and his ballet music, his film music, his symphonies, his concertos, they are so much into the repertoire that even for a person that was never in Armenia, they belong already to the world. You know, they are universal.
Rachmaninoff or Tchaikovsky?
Can I get both, or I have to choose?
No, you have to choose.
Well, with great regret, because it's difficult, but I will say Tchaikovsky. Okay. And I will tell you why.
Why?
Because Tchaikovsky is more complete as a composer. He was incredible in everything that he has done. So when he wrote ballet, he wrote the best ballets in the world, you know, Swan Lake, Cinderella, the Nutcracker. When he wrote opera, he wrote the best. When he wrote symphonies as well, I mean, you can just choose Fourth, Fifth, Pathetic, Manfred Symphony, the Winter Dream, all the symphonies that he wrote. Incredible. Concertos, the violin concerto, the Rococo variation, the piano concertos. I mean, everything that Tchaikovsky wrote is a greatest hit. And it's impossible to think about classical music without Tchaikovsky.
What has been your most memorable moment conducting in Armenia?
Well, definitely I have to say, for the emotions, for the historical reasons, and all in all, it was 24 April 2015. And it was the concert for the 100th anniversary of the Armenian genocide. That was incredibly special. You know, when I was conducting this music, Armenian music with this amazing orchestra, and seeing these terrible images of what was happening 100 years before, I saw it for the first time live. And it was incredibly touching. And it was one of the moments in my life that I will never forget.
What is your passion in life besides music?
Films.
Films? What do you find boring in life?
Routine.
When was the last time something moved you?
Yesterday when I performed Comitas.
Your favorite movie?
Casablanca.
Actor?
Humphrey Bogart.
Actress?
Lauren Bacall.
Okay, would you choose another profession if you had a second chance?
Secret agent.
Wow. Do you have a favorite place in Armenia?
Yerevan.
And last question, would you marry an Armenian woman for the second time?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah? Yeah. So that's all. Thank you very much.